today is and has been progressive. Well, it seems to me we've never been in a greater mess in our lives as a nation. Here we've spent $677 billion in 3 wars in this century alone, and we're in the shadow of a Third World War. We venture upon all sorts of international arrangements and infinite palaver to bring peace and security, and the United Nations is not united, if we're honest about it, but thoroughly disunited. We have a lack of discipline that manifests itself in a wave of juvenile delinquency, in a difficulty in training soldiers for the hard discipline of war, in a variety of ways that mean, for example, broken homes with divorces, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 marriages broken in that way. It seems to me right there is a good proof. And you say that theology has no place? Well, of course, when I use the word theology, I wasn't referring to a fully developed theology in the sense that a theologian would talk about it, but I'm talking about respect for God and God-fearingness instead of godlessness. Why, that's been an implicit tradition in our whole American system. Every American president has talked about it. We talk on our coins of "In God We Trust." It seems to me that once you take that absolute out of it, then you are left only with men. And then the question is, which man? The dictator or the man who's powerful? It seems to me that if you take God out of the picture, then man alone is responsible for the difference between right and wrong. You're
no, wait a minute.
Professor Hodges.
I want to take some exception here. Here are a lot of assumptions that progressive education has caused 3 wars, inability of the United States to function. I'd like to ask about Italy, which has juvenile delinquency, piled on juvenile delinquency, and has a background such as you apparently want. Now, I think...
Well, I'm not interested in defending other systems that failed either. I'm talking about one system that failed in this country, progressive education.
I don't think it's failed. I think that you have ample opportunity to bring your children up if parents want to face their responsibilities. But you're advocating that this be turned over to the state, and you blame progressive education.
I'm not advocating that it be turned over to the state at all. As a matter of fact, the question was asked, which religion should be chosen? I say the parents decide.
Now, I don't think that you can tie it into any particular system. I think we've got the problem of restless youth with us. I think that we can tighten up, and we may very well face conditions which require special emphasis. For instance, in the New York City schools, due to the great influx of newcomers, this time from Puerto Rico, you have a problem that almost defies teaching, including the communication of ideas in the English language.
Well, are you saying there should be more discipline in New York City schools because of the influx of Puerto Ricans?
I think that you have a problem there of thoroughgoing revision of methods, and that's one of the very excellent things the New York public school system is tackling.
Revisions of methods of discipline.
Methods of discipline and methods of communication in terms of teaching. Mm-hmm. And I think we have to avoid broad generalizations. Many communities don't have this problem at all. Other communities have it in excess. I think it's almost a contagion at times.
So far, we seem to have had pretty much nothing but generalizations, and Mr. Buckley sometimes can get extremely specific. What do you think, Mr. Buckley? Should there be more discipline in the classroom?
Well, I would like to concentrate on one sense of the word discipline as distinguished by Mr. Smith. That is to say, I would like to not touch on the question of physical discipline. I don't have any particular ideas about this. I do think that there is complete anarchy as regards intellectual discipline. I think that the cry of the modern educators and of the academic freedomites, that they see it as their function to teach people how to think, and consequently they ought not to be interfered with by the alumni or by the constituents of a local school, has been shown to be a completely phony pretension. Because I think it is demonstrable that the average graduate of the average school in the United States today, whether it's a college, or whether it's a high school, or whether it's a graduate school, demonstrably does not know how to think. That is to say, he goes in for illogical statements, he is incapable of assessing evidence, he is inconsistent, and he is intolerant. According to the criterion laid down by Plato, and it's one that I think all of us here will buy, the criterion that the test of the educated man is his ability to see things as they are, then I say that we are in a position to lay down an indictment against modern education on the grounds that its graduates do not know how to think.
Now, but so far as the question of discipline is concerned, do you think that...
This is discipline. This is intellectual discipline.
This is the intellectual stuff.
That's right.
All right, Mr. Combs, I'm sure you have quite a few ideas on this.
Yes, and very badly scrambled, too, I may add. I can, however, take issue and must take issue immediately with Mr. Buckley's statement that the function of the educational process is not to teach how to think. It seems to me that that is the only valid objective which education can have.
Well, it seems to me that we're having complaints from people who are perfectly honest and who have the welfare of the schools at heart, such as college presidents and teachers themselves and certainly parents, that we are failing in teaching the fundamentals. It seems to me that...
Why, Mr. Smith, are we failing, would you say?
Well, I would say that it was let us talk about one particular subject, the matter of learning to read.